Hello friends. Well, this is about my vlog about my spiritual attack and recovery, and I am recovering slowly, and it's a hard process recovering. 1995 got woken by Father God to a purpose. I have to serve here as his instrument and teacher here, and I was soon conspired against by spirit, and several months later I realised it was probably the well, without a doubt, it's the criminal organisation in the spirit realm, organised crime, the mafia, whatever you call them. And they brought highly sophisticated technology into my life with artificial intelligence, and they can fill your spirit with a substance that they can mutilate and torture to death, and physically is just as painful as having it done in a torture chamber down here. And you know, it forced me to death after 4 months of that. So within a year they'd forced me to death twice, and I've been saved twice by Father God. And then they set about attacking my mind, which they'd already done partially, but they really let loose with this equipment, and it has frequencies and can send out thoughts 3 or 4 times more powerful in your own mind, and they just decimated my mind with it and sent me completely insane within a month of starting that. I was insane, and you know, I'd fought back at this spirit, and my masculinity was one of those things that I was using to fight back with, because it was very strong and powerful and could be brutal, and knows what other men can be like masculinity, how violent they can be, and that's what they were being to me. So I realised that there was 3 of them in my light, 2 thugs and a woman that I believe was probably a prostitute, that they were all worked for the mafia before. One of my guides conspired against me by the mafia to get these people into my light, where they are still now and still torturing me. So the recovery's been a very hard road, and I spent the first 12 years in a homeless hostel, and I was just going insane. You know, I was completely driven insane. I had to shut myself off consciously from my own subconscious mind, because it could possess me if I let it, you know, and it tried to all the time, because all it wanted to do was escape the torture and pain it was in, and it was just impulsing me to commit suicide all the time, and I had to resist that, and it was nearly impossible to do so, but I did. And you know, I tried taking my life 4 or 5 times, but was unsuccessful, apart from the 2 times Father God saved me. You know, and so it went on like that, and I was just barking mad, insane for 12 years. I put a mask on it in front of everybody else that I met outside, but I was going out of my head, you know, to spirit that were around me. I was talking to them, going out of my mind, and with anxiety and stress and insanity. But then 2008, the spring of 2008, I started to recover, and you know, I realised that I was just sitting down here waiting for Father God to save me, because I thought there was no chance of me saving myself. And then I realised I maybe could save myself, and I started to make improvements. As soon as I did start to overcome some of the immense amount of mentalities, because everything had gone insane in my subconscious. My emotions had become completely detached in the beginning, at the start of it all, and they still are. My emotions are completely detached. Don't have any emotions, any feelings of them at all, no love, no nothing at the moment still, but I'm recovering. And first you've got to work through the things that are the least problem to you, but I managed to recover a fair bit until about beginning of February 2009, and 2 weeks later I was in here. And you know, just then, 2 weeks before, or a week before I moved in here, a big part of my subconscious mind, like a hub, a collecting point, a very inspirational part of the subconscious mind, I realised it was there, and I realised that it needed help, and it almost turned round in an impulsion and said, please help me. So I said I would, and you know, I come in here, and a week after I've been in this new place, 14th of February 2009 I moved in, I got over that insanity. But these spirit have attacked me a lot worse since I started getting better, because obviously they don't want me to get better. So they do as much as they can. Father God has limited them. Anything that would absolutely force me to death, he stops them from doing. And then so they just take me to the brink of suicide quite often still, and give me a hard time every day, but I'm still recovering. A long time ago, right in the beginning, I knew I had like a Jekyll and Hyde inside of myself. I didn't know exactly what it was at that time, but of course later I realised it was my own masculinity that was becoming a bit of a Hyde inside myself, a bit of a, you know, a beast. It wasn't evil, no, but it was very phenomenal masculinity, and it started like looking at naked women on the internet, and I couldn't stop it. I wanted to, but I couldn't, and it took me many attempts before I did stop it. And then this year, it's bullied Sue Ling 4 times, and I found that terrible, and it took control of me, and it was a big issue to put right inside myself, my masculinity, and there's many other mentalities of many different types that I've had to put right too, and still am. And my masculinity was the one thing that defended me the most, because when I was attacked, it could take it more than anything else in myself. But then it turned around and attacked back these people, because I got powerful spirit in my mind and I could attack them back mentally. And I knew it wasn't a good thing to do, but I couldn't control it. And I've overcome that with Sue Ling, and it's not a big problem with them too much at the moment. Still rises up a little bit now and again, but I'm getting on top of it, on top of my own masculinity, and that was driven insane. It was driven insane, so it didn't want to give itself up because it was insane. And they take a lot of cracking mentalities, they take a lot of curing, and as you might imagine, they do take a lot of curing. And you've got to have a lot of willpower, a lot of strength, a lot of determination to put your mentalities right. And slowly I got on top of it, and I'm not completely on top of it yet, but almost. And about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I could feel like a new seed growing in me, because I felt now I've got on top of all my own demons of my subconscious mind and put most of them, all of them, virtually to rest, that I can now start growing spiritually. And this last few days I started seeing spirit orbs again, which I haven't seen since I moved in here. Not that often, but I've seen some recently, so whether that spiritual growth allowed me to see them again, I don't know. But now I've got on top of that masculinity mostly, I feel more peaceful. And I turned the table on these people because they are sadistically cruel to me, and they do very evil things to me. And I forgave them when I first knew they were in my light in 2006, early 2006. I forgave them, and I decided not to hate them, but I've still had contempt for them, because of the cruel, sadistic things they've done to me. That hurts, and I have fought back and I have attacked back, and now I only ever attacked back out of self-preservation, but still realised that was wrong. And that's where I've turned the table, because now I'm turning the table and not attacking them back anymore, no matter what they do. And I've learnt to be more peaceful towards them. But Spirit used to say in the church, have love and compassion for those that you might hate, because that's what help them. Because just hating them back will make them even more despising and hateful towards everybody else, and including you. So I have learned to start giving these spirit healing willingly, happily, and giving compassion to them, and trying to understand their plight, that they got in the situation they're in because of their plight in life, probably. Okay, they decided to do some of it, but there's reasons why they've become like they have become, and I've tried to see things from their point of view. And I've never sought justice to punish these people. What I would like to see with these people is for them to be given an opportunity to be helped through love and compassion and rehabilitation, rather than being punished, because these people, they're hardened criminals, and punish them only makes them worse, and it's just porridge to them, and they only be more even spiteful back. That a therapeutic help, and maybe some medication even might help some of them, like their masculinity, so to help them, yeah, and to put them through compassionate and loving, caring help to help them reform. And I think that would do much more good than sending them to prison, because they're the lost sheep and you want to bring them back into the flock, don't you? So they don't go around doing those things to others and to themselves. So bless you. Thank you for listening. Bye bye. Shep.